under lipids, which may be fatty acid. Fatty acid, as the name indicates, they are acidic in nature, and they are soluble in fat solvent. There may be fats like triglyceride, cholesterol esters, etc. Oils of mostly plant origin, so seed oils, etc. Waxes, they are also lipid, and other related compounds which are derived from lipids, such as phospholipids, eicosanoids, terpenes, steroids, etc. So these compounds now briefly I am going to tell you the functions. And the lipids have three major functions. The one is that they are structural component of the cell. The cell membrane, you must have read phospholipids. So they are structural component of all living animal cells. In the structure of cells, then they are energy source, energy molecules. That means by oxidation, they produce large amount of energy, but rather more than the carbohydrates and proteins. We'll talk later on how these energy are produced and what is the ratio of the energy per molecule. They have large number of hydrogen atoms in their structures. So you must have read their methyl group, then CH2, and in the fatty acids, we have large number of molecules which are responsible for the structure of lipids. Detail we will talk later on. So carbon and hydrogen ratio is very high and very little oxygen in there. Only 2 molecules of oxygen in a fatty acid. 2 atoms are there, but hydrocarbon chain is very long. So they have maximum number of electrons which can produce energy as ATP. So they are a very rich source of energy. This is the important function, that they are energy source. Then second function, I told you that structural component of the cell. They contribute to the cell membrane structure, particularly the phospholipid bilayer that consists of cell membrane. Also, the cholesterol is present in the cell membrane, which is also a type of lipid. Cholesterol is an important part. Lipids are also the precursors of several biologically active compounds like prostaglandins, leukotrienes. Prostaglandins are hormones, a kind of local hormone which are present in various cells. Leukotrienes, these are autocoids. Thromboxanes, so these are lipid containing compounds which are derived from the lipid. Lipids are they solubilize the fat soluble vitamins. Vitamin A, D, E and K, they are fat soluble vitamins. They are only soluble in the lipids. So this is the third function. Or next function is, some of the lipids are acting as hormones, lipid containing compounds. So in this we have the corticosteroids, cortisol, corticosterone. These are lipid soluble compounds, hormones which are produced from various glands. Sex hormones, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, they are also lipid soluble or lipid containing compounds. Vitamin D and its derivative like cholecalciferol, that is also a lipid containing compound, are soluble in lipid. So solubilization and absorption of these compounds depends on the presence of lipids. So this is another function of lipids. Then in the hormone action, the second messenger, phosphatidyl inositol, IP3, inositol phosphate IP3, this is the compound acting as second messenger in the action of hormones. You must have read cyclic AMP earlier. Padha hai na? So same way, you know, this IP3 inositol, inositol is alcohol, and phosphatidyl means it has got phosphate group in that. So it is also acting as second messenger in some of the action of some of the hormones, particularly calcium regulating hormones, or in the smooth muscles, and there the this act as a precursor of the hormones, or you know, second messenger of the action of hormones. Lipid also act as insulating material. You know, they are bad conductor of heat. All the lipids, subcutaneous fat in the our body, under the skin, or in the mesentery, or in the body cavities, around the organs, kidney, liver, we have lot of lipids which act as a insulating material, and this prevent the free transfer of heat from the between the organs, or it can preserve the heat, insulating material. So just you can note down single 2-3 words under each function, like insulating material. Rest you can make the sentence, or if it is in the cell structure, you can just note down they are involved in the formation of structural component of the cell. Energy source, you can write energy source. Later on, you can explain it in a full sentence. So just point by point, you can note down all these things, functions, or the precursor of certain hormones like that. So insulating material prevent the dissipation of heat. Lipids provide cushioning effect to the body. So they act as cushion, means shock absorbent, you can say. So they will not allow the injury to proceed or to occur in the body. So then since they are insoluble in water, so they do not generate any osmotic effect. They do not contribute to the osmotic effect. Osmotic effect, you know, the pressures, osmotic pressure generated by various molecules, which are including carbohydrates, like you know, it generate osmotic effect. Glucose, similarly urea, it is a very active osmotic ingredient, or sodium chloride, potassium ions, the minerals, they are having osmotic activity. But lipids, they do not contribute to any osmolarity. So you know, storage of water and transfer of water from one part of the body to other part, that is not contributed by lipids. So they are not contributing the osmotic pressure. Now, we will one by one, we will take up the various components of lipids. So the first and very important component is fatty acid. What are these fatty acids? Fatty acids are straight aliphatic chain with methyl group at one end and carboxylic group at other end. So one structure which I have drawn is a model of simple fatty acid. It can be, you know, hydrocarbon chain is there. On the one end of the chain is methyl group and other end is carboxylic group. So because of the carboxylic group, they are acid, presence of carboxylic. Each fatty acid will have at least one carboxylic group. And hydrocarbon chain, hydrogen and carbon chain, that is contributing to the lipid solubility or fatty nature. So they are represented by formula RCOOH. R is hydrocarbon chain and COH is carboxylic group. It is general formula. R can be any number. It can be hydrocarbon chain of 10, CH2 group or 20 CH2 group like that, 5, 7, any number can be there. So R is the alkyl group, which is denoted by CH3, CH2, N. CH3 is a methyl group and CH2, N can be any number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe up to 20. The hydrocarbon chain is hydrophobic or it is lipid in nature. जो lipid property है, that comes due to hydrocarbon chain. And carboxylic group is hydrophilic. It is miscible with water. Hydrophilic means it can combine with water. It is polar. It has got a cation anionic charge on the molecule. And most of the fatty acid makes esters with glycerol. Now, in the living system, we have 3 categories of fatty acids. Short chain means 2 to 4 carbon. Can you name 2 carbon fatty acid? 3 carbon, 4 carbon. This you have read earlier, first year. पढ़े हैं? ह्यूमन में पढ़े हैं, फर्मेंटेशन होता है? कैन यू नेम ह्यूमन फैटी एसिड? पायरुवेट, ठीक है. कितने कार्बन होते हैं उसमें? हाउ मेनी? 3. ओके. एंड अदर्स? 2 कार्बन. 2 कार्बन. एस्कॉर्बिक? नो. Fatty acid means hydrocarbon chain and carboxylic group. Butyric 4 carbon, acetic 2 carbon, propionic, acetic, propionic, butyric. These are the simplest fatty acid. 2 to 4 carbon means short chain fatty acid. They are volatile also. We call them volatile because they become vapor at low temperature, room temperature. They are vaporized at low temperature. Medium chain. Next higher category is medium chain, which has got say 6 to 10 carbon. So you can have the N number is N is here. So this N will be 6 to 10 medium chain. And long chain 12 to 26 or more carbon atom. So more you can say CH2 groups, N number may be 12 to 26. So accordingly their nomenclature is there. Here in 2 to 4 I told you acetic, propionic, butyric, 5 carbon is valeric, 6 carbon is caproic. So we'll give you the complete list of various fatty acids, and that will give you the idea how they are named. And in animal system, most of the fatty acids have even number of carbon atoms. Even number means 2, 4, 6, 8, not odd number. Although propionic is odd, or butyric even hai, but valeric is 5 carbon. So, but these are found only in the rumen, not in the fat. Fat में नहीं मिलेंगे आपको ये. So those are, but in fat we will have mostly 16 to 20 carbon atoms with fatty acid with 16 to 20 carbon atom with you can say even number only. Some fatty acid may contain double bond. So we have saturated, unsaturated. Unsaturated are with double bond, one or more double bond. Mono unsaturated, single double bond. Poly unsaturated, or more than one double bond, or triple bond भी होते हैं. Some will may have triple bonds also. So we have saturated are without double bond, and unsaturated have more double bonds, maybe one, two or more. So these double bonds, they make the fatty acids different, and unsaturated fats. They are mainly present in the oils, unsaturated. Or saturated, they are present in the animal fat, ghee, butter fat. They have mostly saturated fatty acids. So source we will talk later on. We have another table. And these are some cyclic fatty acids. So far we have talked about straight chain fatty acids, aliphatic chain, but some fatty acids may be cyclic chain. These are some of the examples: Colbogric acid or hydrocarbic acid. So these are structures of cyclic fatty acids. They are found in some of the oils, and some are used in the as a drugs for treatment of leprosy. So we have these fatty acids are also important. Now, coming to the functions of fatty acids. So, most important function is that they are constituent of various body fats. Most of the body fats, they are esters of fatty acid with alcohol, and maybe glycerol or some other alcohol. Alcohol, they have hydroxyl group in their structure. So hydroxyl group of alcohol and carboxylic group of fatty acid, they make a ester linkage. Ester bond is formed. So most of the fat, they have alcohol and fatty acid as their constituent. So all the constituent of fats like phospholipid, glycolipids, and they are the components of various structural fat of the body or cell. Fatty acids are fuel molecules. Second function, they act as energy source. They, after oxidation, they produce ATPs, and fatty acids are also stored as triglyceride, storage fat. Adipose tissue, they can store some fats as storage fat for future use, reserve fat, reserve energy source. So these are maybe triglycerides, and they also provide cushioning material. I told you for protection of physical protection of the organs from injuries. Fats are present around the lungs, around the heart, around the visceral organs like stomach, kidney, etc. So they protect the organ from injuries also. So the cushioning material is also one of the function. ये fatty acid और fat का जो function है, it's more or less intermingled or superimposed हो रहा है. So some may be overlapping, may be there. But